Good evening and welcome to the Serenity Solutions podcast number 25. Doing this at a different time of day and hopefully it works out. I'm going to keep it short and sweet tonight. Didn't get it done yesterday as it was the first day back to school today. Lots of things going on and just wasn't feeling it yesterday. So I'm going to focus on following your dreams tonight and how tough it can be sometimes, but that it's usually worth it. I'm going to talk a little bit about my podcast I listened to tonight by Mel Robbins and Eddie Milet's Chapter 7, The Power of One More Dream. Just a little bit about that. And then I'm going to do a card pull from a numerology deck, just to see what is happening for me right now. Just curious. And for the collective that listens to this podcast. So, and lastly, I'll read a little, journal exercise from Zen as F, a journal for practicing the mindful art of giving, S. No swearing on here. So, yes, let's get going. So, the things that stood out for me from Mel Robbins' podcast today, and I can't remember, it was about 4 books that you should read or something, or book recommendations. And she was talking about the idea that it doesn't matter how you get to your dreams. Like, she was giving an example of the book, about the lawyer and how he wrote a bunch of books. Is it The Gift or something like that? And she discovered that she didn't really like being a lawyer, but like going to school to be a lawyer got her to where she wants to be, and that she could just write books and do that kind of stuff. And that experience of going to school to be a lawyer got her to where she wanted to be, even though that wasn't her dream job. She said she actually hated it. So, it just reminded me of like times in my life where I've followed my dreams, but like it looks different. The path looks different as you're getting there. And I am somebody that has changed my career path many times since I, started university and stuff. But like I've talked on lives before about the fact that I did want to be a nutritional counselor when I was in high school and started in the dietary department at Aurelia Soldiers Memorial Hospital in my hometown, and discovered that I was a bit bored with the nutrition aspect. Like, it gets pretty technical, and it did lead me, I wanted to change after that, but I did that for about 7 years, made really good money to go to university and all that. And then, became a teacher, actually went towards being a veterinarian, and that didn't work out, but I still, love animals. I'm with animals all the time. I spend the majority of my life with animals, love studying them, but in a different way than being a veterinarian. Like, I didn't think, like, it was way too emotional for me, so that wasn't what I was meant to do, but I did the things I needed to do to get there, to know that I could do it. It just would have been a lot of schooling for something that I wasn't strong in with math and sciences, and then there's a 10% chance of getting into veterinarian school. Anyways, point is that, like, try that. And then my mom's like, oh, you always loved playing school as a kid, so why don't you be a teacher? And she was right. Like, I used to, and I don't know if I've talked about this in a podcast before, but I used to hand out books, write them, play imaginary school with myself, mark them all, hand them back out, like do all the teacher things that I was learning from my teacher at school. And, I work in schools as a counselor, and also I'm a private counselor as well, and a registered clinical counselor who is currently taking clients, by the way. But like, I followed my dreams. I am where I want to be. I got to, achieve my goal of being a counselor and do even more than what I thought a nutritional counselor. I guess my focus would have been a dietitian, nutritional counseling. I just actually wanted to be an entrepreneur. And I am now an entrepreneur as well. Always have kind of been since I was a little kid, but it's just like, but the thing is, like, people worry about the judgments that people are going to make if you do, I've done waitressing throughout. I've done, a lot of, I've done preschool jobs. I've done work with, like Little Steps therapy, lots of different things, and teaching and school counseling, and like, it doesn't matter how you get there if you follow your dreams, right? Is what I'm trying to say. So if you're worried about people thinking, oh, you're not doing anything with your life, or you're not doing it in the right way, or the way that most people do it. Like, she was talking about, Mel was talking about how, like, who cares? Like, going against, I think that was Mel Robbins' podcast, that they're talking about going against societal standards and the way that they do things. I listened to a lot of different podcasts though, so I'm pretty sure that was today's podcast. I'm also very distracted lately. I can't just sit and read for very long. But I just wanted to remind you that following your dreams is important, and we need grit and consistency, a vision, and a good mindset to get there, because it is tough. And as I said at the beginning of this podcast, I think I said that it is tough to follow your dreams. It's been a long day today. I didn't get much sleep last night, but it does take a lot of grit and vision, and reminding yourself constantly of that vision, and that's where the mindset comes in. And whenever I need encouragement, I usually listen to Eddie Milet, and I know I mention him every podcast that I do, but what I did was I skimmed, which is something that came in handy in university for all those years, Chapter 7, One More Dream by Eddie Milet. And he talks about, I think I've talked about this chapter before because I just love following my dreams, and how children are dreamers, their imaginations are the rules of their dreams, and entering your dream state is the happiest place. Like, people in life operate out of their imagination and dreams and not their history. So, like, leaving your past behind and being able to, like, envision the future and your dreams and actually acting on them and following them. And the fact that dreaming is free, right? It's so much fun. Like, if you wake up and you assess your dream or analyze your dream, I'm sure you've done this before, and it's so much fun to, like, figure out what is the meaning for that. And I recently had a dream where I did that, and I'm like, holy smokes, this is, like, important, right? And it is, sometimes you're like, oh, shoot, I don't want to wake up from this dream because it's so good. And it's unfortunate that sometimes our dreams are better than our real lives, but you can make your real life feel like your dreams. And that's, like, kind of the point of this podcast. But you do have to have that consistency and grit and know and believe, right? he talks about being trapped in your past, moving into your future. The first step of moving from your past to your future is acceptance. And then Deepak Chopra teaches us that I use memories, but I will not allow memories to use me. You know what gets swept aside when you hold on to your past? You end your entire future. So when you hold on to your past, your entire future gets swept to the side. They talk a little bit about, he talks a little bit about your inner child in here. Like, so what makes us humans unique is our consciousness allows us to extend beyond the confines of present time and space. This other dimension is our dream state where imagination flourishes. And he talks about like how therapists have long called this reconnecting with our inner child. And that was something that my mom brought up when I was trying to figure out what I was going to do, because like I tried so hard, worked really hard to get into the animal science program to go towards being a veterinarian, which a lot of people think like that's what I should do because I am an animal lover through and through. And then I'm like, oh, what am I going to do with all this work that I've done? And that's why my mom said that you played school as a child all the time. And you loved it. And that was like your favorite thing to do. I liked house and playing school, but I think playing school was my absolute favorite. So, that was really, insightful for her. And I do love teaching, but counseling is what I'm meant to do. I know that for a fact. I'm very nurturing and the psychology part of it, not just like on one topic like nutritional counseling. I love nutrition and wellness. I need more than that. I need to help with the psychology and the study of the mind. And my favorite subjects in high school near the end were psychology and sociology. So the study of people and the study of the brain and study of, it's basically the study of people is my fave. And I love watching those kind of movies and really got into the psyche. Once I had stopped watching or listening or reading any of those things because my imagination is pretty vivid. But yeah, dreams are the product of your imagination at work. Imagining is therapy. It's healthy. So one of the best ways to be good to yourself is to put your imagination to work. That's what Eddie says in his book. And giving yourself permission to dream, like it is okay. And people sometimes call people dreamers, but oh well. It's better than being stuck in the past and being negative and not wanting anything out of life, right? So there it says, replace negatives with dreams and visions that are exact, specific, and repetitive. So let me repeat that. Replace negatives with, because I just said the negative thing and then I read this highlighted, bolded part. So replace negatives with dreams and visions that are exact, specific, and repetitive. So I guess that's like what's coming up for you that are like, this is exactly what I want, and be specific and be repetitive with your dreams. This is what Eddie's saying. And Eddie is amazing. Your imagination has no concept of night and day. Taking the steps towards your dreams is what's going to get you there, and that's a part of the grit, the mindset part. Power of one more is about thinking and doing. So intentionally acting on our dreams is important. And like I said, I did that recently and it was amazing the result that happened after intentionally following what I dreamt about. Okay. So, next thing on the agenda is the card pull. And I want to know what is happening for me right now. What do I need to know? And like I've always said in my podcast, these pulls, like card pulls, are for you as well. I'm pulling this from the numerology guidance card deck, and I just quoted some things from The Power of One More, Eddie Milet's book, by the way. Just want to make sure I give him that credit for those ideas, as well as the Mel Robbins podcast at the beginning there. I just like to share things that I get from these things that I learn all the time while I'm out for my walks, and maybe it will create an idea or thought for you and inspire you in some way is my intention. But let's get back to what do we need to know, what's going on, what's happening in my life right now. And I'm going to just pull randomly. I'm just shuffling. Okay, I've got one that I'm reaching for here. Okay, so number 16, rebirth. This might be interesting based on what we just talked about, which isn't uncommon for these card pulls I've been doing on my podcast. Okay, hopefully it's helpful for you as well. Sometimes I don't feel like doing this, and then it feels really good afterwards, so hopefully it's helpful for you too. Okay, this card indicates a time of major transition and transformation that will result in significant personal growth. By drawing this card, you have entered a period of spiritual awakening and rebirth, where you have the opportunity to align with your higher self and the overarching principles that guide you. This is where you surrender to the changes around you and prepare to be the best you can be. You are being encouraged to trust and believe that a magical future awaits. But first, you need to let go of the old in order to experience the new. Take time to reevaluate your core values and re-examine your life. Then eliminate any superficial foundations that don't align with your higher self and your dreams. This is a time to recognize and rise above any ego-based thoughts and behaviors, for humility and authenticity are the keys to your success. In order to improve your current situation, you are being asked to adjust to and harmonize with the natural rhythm and cycles of your life. Cycles that are leading you toward a higher level of understanding and awareness. This transformation is inevitable, so know that this is a very exciting time, for you are about to become the best you can be. That's pretty, in tune with what I was just talking about, isn't it? Affirmation. Through personal transformation, I reach my greatest potential. So I think this numerology card pull, is a reminder to keep following those dreams, no matter how tough it feels, and that it's going to work out. It's going to be okay, and you're going through a major transformation right now called a rebirth. So if you're listening to this, that might be the same case for you, because something drew you to listen to this podcast tonight, or whenever you listen to it. All right. Lastly, I'm going to read from the Zen. Okay, just so you know, the numerology guidance cards are Michelle Buchanan's card deck. Number 16. Okay, Zen is F. This is a journal for practicing the mindful art of not giving an S by Monica Sweeney. And I'm just going to randomly find a page here. I like to do this all in the moment because I find that that's the most interesting way for me as well as for you, and it helps me be more excited about things. Okay, so just let me find my page here. Random page. Okay, this book has swear words in it. It says, one-upmanship and other bullshit. You fell in a puddle. So it says, you fell in a puddle? I fell in a pond. You won an award? I won too. Whatever it is that you or those around you feel the need to one-up people about, it's time to cut that shit out. If you're prone to this habit, how can you avoid it in the future? Okay. When someone does this to you, take a breath before you get pissed off and unleash all hell. You're being a dick, but maybe that they don't realize it. What are some ways you can politely respond or move on. Okay? So stop the one-upmanshipness. And this last page is I'm going to read because I'm really drawn to the colors. It says, hello, habitat. Home is a feeling, a cozy blanket, a group of people you love and occasionally yell at. It can be bolted to the ground or it can move wherever the F you want to go. What do you want your home to be built from? And who makes you feel most at home? This one really rings true to me and resonates with me right now. So that is cool. I haven't looked at this book for years. So hopefully it is helpful for you as well. I hope that you all have an amazing day. I'm going to leave it at that. So stay calm, cool, serene, and I'll see you next week. Have a good night, everybody.